feel a common theme that's coming up is people don't really seem to trust. And speaking as a young person, I know that a lot of young people don't trust their local MPs because they feel that they can't relate to them. And I was just wondering how you expect young men and women from all different cultures to relate to such a male, pale and stale party.
First of all, that's a very good line. Well done.
I rehearsed it.
I've already accepted that we need to change. We have very many ethnic minority members, but we need to get them into positions of power in the party. That's what has to change, in my view. But it comes back to this question of trust. And the political classes in this country have, to a large degree, lost the trust of the British people. But when I do my work in North Norfolk, I think that people feel that they trust me. Not everybody, but I try never to promise to achieve results. I promise to try to do my very best to achieve outcomes for people, but I think it's much better if you're straightforward and honest about the limits of what you can achieve and then try your very best to achieve them. And that's the way I think you start to rebuild trust in politics.
OK, Tina?
Let's go to Redditch for our first comment. You couldn't hold the Tories to account in a first term. You've got no chance in a second. And this one from Iwayaki in Bristol. The NHS is being privatised behind our backs and the Lib Dems haven't done enough to stop it. No wonder UKIP is gaining ground.
There's all this talk of privatisation. Actually, the percentage of the NHS budget spent in the private sector has gone up, I think, from 4.5% to 6%. So this is a tiny minority of the amount of money. All the rest being spent on NHS providers within the NHS. And my view is that we just need to ensure that we get the best possible care for people. That's what we should focus on. High standards of care. And, you know, I visited a...
So tuition fees were a mistake. NHS reform a mistake as well?
Look, I've never been a great enthusiast for Andrew Lansley's reforms, but they did, when they were amended during the passage through Parliament, they secured in legislation for the first time the idea, the principle of integrating care, joining up care. And, you know, you work in the NHS. I think we have to join up the health and social care system. It's crazy to have a great divide down the middle, and I think if you can pool the budget so that you have a single amount of money to spend on health and care, then you will achieve much better outcomes.